as you can see, we have people milling about and everything, and it's just an early start to the con for day two. So it, it's a very interesting thing, as most fans and don't realize what kind of effort goes into putting together something like this on the other end of on the other side of the table. A lot of effort goes into a lot for only maybe a few minutes of somebody coming up to your table and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" So this is a small peek into the world of the Comic Con.
The internet would work, but oh well. We'll do what we do best, make rocket fuel out of goat piss. So, we'll see. Part 2 of C2E2, and once again we're still dealing with the same damn issues. Visual communicator doesn't want to work. Internet connection, we have it, but can't log on. So you know what? Once again, screw it. We're gonna just keep on doing. It's not quite noon yet. We already made a couple of sales, so we're doing okay, I guess. Can't complain, you know. So from here, we got the missus with us today, so. So some of the old mojo is back. So I hope that by the time we get next time go around, I hope to have maybe a couple of interviews. Who knows? And we'll take it from there. We'll see.
Okay, I have a very special treat after a very crappy day where everything was going down the toilet. Crappy. Okay, shit-tacular. but this is going to be. Things are starting to turn around, and I have a very special guest, Lamorse Richmond. Lamorse, welcome to Lip Service.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. After almost, 5 years?
It hasn't been that long.
Long enough. Finally. What first got you started?
In comics?
Yes, in comics.
Or in life in general?
We already done. Now, look, I'm trying to keep this PG. In comics, if you want to be particular about things.
It's something I've always wanted to do my entire life. Since the age of 6, I've wanted to work in comics. Seriously.
Okay. And so, what steps did you have to take in order to get to that point?
In terms of
after you became, after you learned how to maintain got your skills and everything, how did you break into the comic industry?
Well, my very first assignment was writing the Road Ghostbusters for Now Comics, and from there I wrote like shock horror stories for Splatter. Wrote Boots of the Oppressor. I wrote Boots of the Oppressor. And I don't know. I've always known people in comics. I've always tried to emulate their talent and success. So, I'm always trying to, I guess, keep up with the Kardashians.
Oh, thank God they don't do comics. So
They do. They are comics.
I'll leave that one alone.
They are completely unreal, and God bless them.
And I'll leave that one alone. So as a writer, what are some of the challenges about staying and maintaining within the industry?
Oh, that's a very good question. You always want to, I guess, keep fresh by keeping an eye on what's happening in the industry. If you want to create in a vacuum, then your concepts will tend to be a little old-fashioned or done by someone else because you have been looking to see what's happening, and also you are, you're trying to keep your ideas from being seen. With my book Oya, there are lots of imitators of Oya coming out now, but I know Oya was the first, and when my Oya hits the stands, it'll be the best.
And so,
Yes, I said it. It'll be the best.
okay. Now here's another good question. With now that the mainstreamers and their current marketing and publishing tactics, do you feel that tactic has destroyed or taken away from the writing creativity of the writers?
No. You have to do it all. It's in this day and age, we have to. You can't be enough to just create it. You have to market it. You've got to sell it. You've got to make it sellable, and that's part of your job. So if I write 6 hours a day, 4 days a week, 2 hours a day is spent on Facebook or LinkedIn or somewhere trying to get people to look at what I'm doing. Because having a website isn't enough. If you can't advertise your website, you have to find some way to get people to your material. And by the way, that's www.biglamoriscomics.com.
So now, my next question is this. Now with self-publishing, do you feel that now with that industry, I can't say it's burgeoning, it's always has been there. Do you think that with the right push, it could become mainstream?
I think it is mainstream. I think if you look around, the art that you see, it's all mainstream. Marvel and DC have set a stylistic mark that if we want to compete with each other, we must meet that mark because there's a lot of material out there, and you really want your ideas to stand out. And the best way to stand out is not just by being different, but by having explosive art.
So realistic. That's okay. So right now, what you saying is, that a writer still needs a great artist to convey what they're trying to do.
Yes, always. It goes hand in hand. If you have you can have the worst story in the world, but if the art is great, no one is really going to want to read it. It has to be both. It has to be a total union, a total marriage. 50-50. Yeah, 50-50. Great art, great story.
And you heard that, and that used to be one of our taglines back in the day with Kiss Me Comix. Great art plus greatness equals a great story. So now, which is and that's the main thing for everything. So now, aside from Oya, what else have you got in the burner that's supposed to be dropping out sometime soon?
I really can't say, but I am working on the 20th anniversary of Boots of the Oppressor, an all-new digital edition with the blessings of all the artists involved.
Now, and speaking of digital, what is your opinion about the digital media? Because you've heard the horror stories everybody's talking about. Oh, print is gonna go by with a dodo and the 8-track tape and the Odyssey 2 and stuff like that. What's your opinion on that?
I'm sorry to say that I think that digital art, digital printing, is a great equalizer. It's a great equalizer. If it costs you $2,000 to write and draw a book, and then it costs you another $3,000 to print it, but it costs you $0 to distribute it digitally, you've just saved yourself a whole lot of cash right there. And because you're not printing it, you're not shipping it, you can charge a lower price for your book. And more people, can read it. They can afford $2 as opposed to $4.50. Or I think issue 700 of Spider-Man was like $9 or something weird like that. I thought that was so much. I thought that was incredible.
Yeah, well, okay, touche, Pussycat. You have made a very good point about that. But at the same time, and this has been one of my arguments that got soundly refuted not too long ago, a digital copy of Batman 1 ain't going for $1 million.
That's right, because 100 years from now, if you find a digital file, it'll be like, oh my goodness, this is history. But no, no one expected those books to be worth anything, and print is just. I'm not saying that print is bad. I'm not saying that print should go away. I'm not saying print will go away, but as far as from a business perspective, it really is a great equalizer. And so with our own books, we're doing digital releases, but if somebody wants a printed copy, they'll be charged what the printed copy costs and nothing else. And if that's $5, then it's $5.
Well, since
free shipping.
Okay. Well, since I can't pick your brain about what you're going to do, not yet. Okay.
Talk to me in 2 months.
Okay, and I've got you here.
I'm on video. 2 months. Talk to me in 2 months.
And if he doesn't, I'm gonna stick my wife on you.
Well, that's fine too.
Yes. So
we have an extra bedroom. She can come stay at our house.
You ain't keeping her.
We have an extra bedroom.
Okay, so Lamorris, where can folks find your work and find you and find more about Oye?
I would go to www.biglamorriscomics.com.
What about Facebook?
Sometimes I'm on Facebook.
What about Twitter?
You know what? I have 78 tweets in 2 years, and I have 38 fans or followers. I'm very proud of my followers. They're very loyal. I follow them too.
And that's how you build your network. And finally, are you also on LinkedIn?
Yes, I am. I'm on LinkedIn.
Under?
Under my name, under Lamorris Richmond. Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks.
It's La Space Morris Richmond.
And so, folks, we have been talking to Lamorris Richmond, a talented writer who has been there, seen that, and there's more to come in 2 months. And when in 2 months, I'm going to be right on there to get the spoilers. So once again, Lamorris, thank you so much.
I promise you. 2 months, I promise you. And thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
As you can see, not even noon yet, and the place is pretty packed. Some people dressed and not dressed as a character of some sort. Swing back over here, and as proof, there is the lovely Serenade creator Barbara Jenkins with her DS, or no, correction, her 3DS, spot passing and having a good time. So hopefully, with all this activity, we'll have a good day. We'll find out soon enough, and hopefully, we'll have more interviews. So, keep you posted.
Well, then I'll just be able to just get a little book, just a little banged up. That is nice. Over. And you are?
My name is Jeffrey Wessel. I'm a comic book writer.
Okay. And this is your art or your stories?
My stories, Keeper and Takedown.
Okay. And what are they about?
Keeper is a continuing webcomic crime thriller drama about a American goalkeeper playing soccer in London who also happens to be a serial killer.
Oh, okay. That's something different.
Yeah, well, you know, it was a mix of different influences. I mean, my love of the sport of soccer, as well as, you know, just the idea of a predator hiding in plain sight, never being discovered until the damage is done. So, you know, just, you know, investigating that sort of thing.
So, so from here, you took two of your best loves and turned it into a very unique story, because there aren't too many serial killer stories out there nowadays.
Well, yeah, I mean, zombies have kind of overtaken things, but I mean, there was for a while, you know, especially on TV, you had like the criminal intent and, you know, a lot of those shows. Yeah, I mean, right now the swing is for zombies, but, you know, unfortunately, zombies don't exist and serial killers do. So, I mean, it's a bit more realistic in that way. And, you know, it's, you know, unfortunately, a lot of times they're glamorized as well. So, I mean, hopefully, you know, you see that, you know, that he really is not a good person either. So
what are some of the challenges about writing about a serial killer? Because obviously, you got to take into consideration the law, the legal aspect of things.
yeah, well, especially when it's set in a foreign country too, and you know, England has different laws and different ways of doing things. So I have to keep consulting. Hey, is this about right? How things go? I mean, do they interrogate the same way? You know, and all that. But yeah, again, you also don't want to cross that line to where you're merely showing versus you know, endorsing or glamorizing how things go. I mean, and also you also need to realize that, you know, when the insanity and the violence gets escalated, it's usually towards the end of the cycle,
right?
And they know it. So yeah, you have that going on.
Yeah, that's true too. So for you as a writer, you have taken a very unique challenge to write this out. Have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's a thrill to write. You know, especially, you know, oddly enough, you know, it's easier to write the footballing sequences than I thought it would be, actually. But it's when you get into, you know, the details of, you know, how you're killing somebody, and you have to type it all out and have to actually see it in your head before you put it on the page, and it leads to some grisly scenes. It really does.
So how about you finding a market? How have your readers taken to the story?
Well, I mean, quite a few people have liked it. I mean, I've gotten good reviews from other comic writers like Greg Rucka and Mark Waid and Phil Hester, but I've also had some well-known literary persons. Ian Rankin, the crime writer, likes it, as did Irving Welsh, the guy who wrote Trainspotting.
Cool. So right off the top, you got some very popular names back in what you're doing, and that doesn't hurt.
No, it certainly doesn't. Acclaim is a good thing. It really is.
Oh, that's true. I mean, because as long as you can say that person spoke for it, you know, it's all good. So, what other challenges have you had about trying to get this story out to your to the masses?
Well, I mean, I launched my own site. I mean, I tried, you know, going down the publisher routes, and unfortunately, none of the publishers that were interested in giving a deal that was actually seemed fair to myself, and especially to the artist, who has a much more bigger stake in it financially from the start, because, you know, materials cost and art supplies and all that. Me, I sit at my laptop in my spare, you know, after I work my straight job and type it out. It takes me, you know, a couple of days or a couple of weeks to type out a script. It takes, you know, at least a month to produce art for an issue of a comic book. So there's a lot more material cost, and that's, you know, yeah. But anyway, the point is that, yeah, only one publisher seemed to go for it, and I didn't think it was that great of a deal. So, you know, I struck it out on my own. It's at atypicalcomics.com. And you can order, you know, and you can order it digitally. We have it for digital sale too. Issue 0 is a free download, or you can order the print copies from us. And I also just released, you know, during this con weekend, my other publication, Takedown. It's a sci-fi action one-shot in which not Judge Dredd faces not Darth Vader, if you catch my meaning. So,
So what's Takedown all about?
Takedown? Well, again, it's basically, you know, a pastiche or tribute to Judge Dredd taking on an analog of Vader. You know, it's just you know, where the inspiration for that one came from my son putting his Lego Darth Vader figurine right next to a little pewter Judge Dredd that I had. I was like, okay. So it just kind of went from there, and you know, I built up you know, wasn't trying to completely copy either Star Wars or Judge Dredd, but you know, you had to take some inspiration, but you also have to make it your own thing too.
Right.
At the same time.
Yeah. So that way you don't have a legal ninja party.
The last thing I need is Lucasfilm or Rebellion coming down on me. So.
That's true. So once again, I've been talking to
Jeffrey D. Wessel
of Atypical Comics, and once again, as you can see, just walking around, there is a lot of talent out here. They're out here at C2E2, which I'm recording to you live. Come on down. If not, remember the websites. Go to these people, check them out, because this is the future of the comics. This is what's going on today. And for lip service, I'm Rod Jenkins. Okay, I am at the table of Strictly Underground and talking to Joe.
The street team.
Street team. Oh, I'm sorry, the street team.
I'm a guest of Sean and Lee's right here.
Okay.
Street team studio mate right here.
Okay, so now I'm talking to my old pal, Joe, right?
Yep. I gotta be old pal. Be a question with the next one.
Dude, look, come on. Now, cut me some slack here. I've been here practically all day. I'm tired. I have had been dealing with too many names. So, okay, so cut me a little bit of slack. So, Joe, what got you started in the comics?
Growing up seeing more cartoons and being inspired and going to the comic stores every day. I don't know, it's something just as a kid you started. Just naturally, just gravitate towards this in your heart. You do it.
That's true. And how long have you been in the industry?
About 17 years.
Hey, yeah, that's right. About 17. That's about right, because because we've seen you. When you were part of the Black History Club, we jumped in the scene.
Yeah, man. 1996, we jumped in. It was the mid-90s. Image Comics was hot. House was hot. A bunch of independent companies was doing it, and we jumped in to get our part.
And so, what was your first title that you published?
That's coming. You don't want to do a Yuri. There was Spicy John Rock.
I'm feeling it, man.
And so, what have been some of the challenges of you doing the self-publishing?
17.
You gotta do everything. If you're a self-publisher, you don't have a machine behind you. You gotta sometimes handle. You gotta wear many hats, handle many of the things that's going on. You have like the advertising power, so you gotta really get out there and get your hands dirty when you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and that's true, because wearing those many hats kind of wears you down, especially.
And you know.
Oh yeah. Well, you're 4 years older than we are. Just turned 13. And for us, just trying to get that word out there has been a challenge. So now with Punks of Rage, what's that all about?
Punks of Rage is Rage City. It's like a hyper version of Chicago, where everything is done really, really bad. Just really, really bad. Which the way Chicago looks these days, they about the same. We ain't gonna talk about that. So this one vigilante, Dodger, the guy with the big guy,
Can't wait to get it.
back. So he gets started, he starts fighting back, and these other vigilantes, people want to do some rage, they start to follow behind him. So that's Punk's Rage. This group of 7 are going all out to fight against crime.
So now, out of 17 years, I need a scorecard with all the titles you all have spat out. So what keeps you? So what keeps you in the game, so to speak? And do you plan to sit down and just do one one major pilot?
Me and Sean talk about that all the time. Me and our group talk about that. And I talk to everybody in my group of folks who are doing this. I'm thinking that Punks and Rage is going to be the one I do for the foreseeable future, and that's the one I've built the longest. I can see myself doing that for like the next few years, but you know, I love creating stuff, so don't be surprised if I do something else.
Right. So, where do you want to take your talent and your group? You know, where do you want to be in the next 2 to 5 years?
At the top right now. I just want to do more stuff. I want to branch out Punks and Rage brand. My street team studio mates, we want to do more street team stuff. You know, I would love to do a short film or at least a whole film. That's the goal. So with the Punks and Rage being the subject matter that we cover, so that's the goal. And we'll see. I mean, it's looking good now, but we'll see.
I'm hoping so now, where can folks find you and find your work?
Set up here? Grand Pressure Comics. Oh, okay. Online, punksandrage.com, punksandrage.net. Grand Pressure Comics downtown in Chicago, 70 Madison. Third Press Comics on the north side of Chicago. I don't know how to exact address, but just look up Edgewater, Third Post Comics, and it will be at First Aid Comics, south side of Chicago, Hyde Park, in the next weeks.
And where can folks find you out on the web?
punksandrage.com, punksandrage.net, Facebook /punksandrage.
Okay. And we have been talking with Joe of the Street Team. And Joe, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rod. I appreciate it, man. Shouts out to Kiss Me Comix. Shout out for this interview. Shout out to the Street Team from the underground. Shout out to Siren.
Okay, and there'll be more interviews coming up on Lip Service.
Well, folks, it is about almost 6:30, and brother, I am tired. I mean, TIRD, tired. Got a couple of great interviews and everything. Sold some books. Barbara has been phenomenal. I can't wait to see what happens when hopefully all three of us get together tomorrow for this last day of C2E2. I mean, we have kicked butt, sold some tall merchandise. And for Diamond, once again, Serenade issue 0 sold out. I don't know why y'all don't want us in your lineup. Every time we come to these conventions, people are buying our stuff. What more do you want? Plain and simple. Our stuff moves. Give it a chance. Give these independents a chance. You might be surprised about who actually buys what, where, and why. But that's just my opinion. But what do I know? So hopefully, if everything works out right, I'll get this up tonight for everybody to see, get a couple of chucks out of, and then hopefully pretty soon I'll get a couple of more interviews so I can actually put together a regular lip service, and hopefully, more importantly, I don't ask people to because I don't like to beg, but if you like this show, you like the presentation, you like what I'm doing, you like seeing independents, go down to the bottom and like us. But more importantly, tell somebody that this show is out here. In order to keep this going, I need artists, I need writers, I need you, period. Whether you're a fan of comics, independent comics or regular comics, doesn't matter. I need you to go down there, like the show, put in your comments. If there's a suggestion that you would like to see, let me see if I can't do it and take it from there. So hopefully with this next step, we'll keep you posted. Until next time.